Hi. I was watering a house plant. I walked into the other room and I was like, oh, whoops. This needed some water. Sorry, I put my apron on. Morning, everyone. It is paint time. It feels like it's been 500 years since paint time. Needed some water. Okay. Why has anything been happening? Right, Chaz? You know. Oh, I didn't put on moisturizer. No wonder. Long week. Nothing at all. With a really long, boring weekend with absolutely nothing going on at all. No, like, 6-hour bike ride planned or anything. Nope. And that's just one of the days. Nope. We're painting today. We're adding color. I did a bunch of testing, and I don't think I'm happy with any of it. Like this? I can get behind this. Why would you busy it all this weekend or this month? Ah. This isn't bad. Now, what did I do with this? Did I switch blues? No. That's still phthalo. I think I just brought more of the ochre into it. I think I ditched the green. That's what it was. I think I ditched the green. I should have made notes. I didn't. It's fine. I'm going to spray my palette down and then I'll read alerts. And we'll do a little bit more testing just to make sure. I have hiccups too. Cool. And then we can paint this grease eye. We gonna be guided by vibes today? I haven't even looked at my reference image. It's probably a mistake. I'll look at it in a minute. I had a tooth pulled yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry, XD Symphony. That sucks. That is no fun. All right. iPad here. Sometimes it just doesn't want to do Face ID. There we go. All right. We have a 15-month resub from Chaz who says, thanks to WeWin for my ongoing sub gift. Thank you for the sub gift. Making sure Chaz can always use emotes. We have a 29-month resub from Kit Collide, 23 months from Eliason89, 30 months from Board Turtle, and 29 months from Brina BX. Thank you all for the resubs this morning. That's why I love mine is still Touch ID. I have Touch ID on that iPad. It's old enough. Crown fell off and tooth was too damaged to save. Ah. I worry about that with mine because I had originally cracked the tooth on a pearl inside of a mussel. The shellfish mussel. That kind of mussel. Or clam. It was one or the other. I was having ciopino. So I worry someday that that tooth will need pulled. This palette's cleaning up so nice today. Sometimes it's really easy to get the paint off a palette, and sometimes it's just kind of a pain. Oh yeah, the tooth saga. Yeah. That was awful. I used to be fine going to the dentist. I didn't hate it. I thought it was all fine. I was never someone who really had a problem with it, but after all of that, I really hate going to the dentist now. When was that? It was forever ago. I don't remember. I think I was not teaching, so I think it would have been after 2016. Next appointment in 2 months. Do I have a dentist and a dermatology appointment in the same week? Month? I think I do. Gross. Not happy about that. Alright, so these 3 down here had been yellow ochre, phthalo green yellow shade, and phthalo blue green shade. And they're really saturated. This was them more washed out. This was them without the green. I think it's just the phthalo blue green and the yellow ochre mix. But then it popped into my head randomly. I was not working on art. And it was like, wait, you have transparent something. Yellow iron oxide. That's the color. Right? And that should be the color. I was like, you should try that color. That might be better than ochre. And then, let's look at the blue. That's still pretty phthalo. Translucent yellow. Phthalo blue red is definitely not it. So my thought is, use this, put on canvas, add more glazing if I need to. Like if there's not enough green in this, we can do a very, very light wash of this green to make it more green. Or like maybe even this green. That's my thought, is we don't all have to do this in one layer. We can start with the yellow, put all of the yellow out there, let it dry, and then like put all of the blue out there. Because they're glazes, they're transparent. We're not trying to paint like a picture in the glaze on top. We're just putting it down. So it can be in different layers. And I can always add more, like if I want it to be more, I don't know, purple for whatever reason, I can do a glaze of purple. All right, I'm gonna do one more test to see if I like the yellow iron oxide better than the ochre. And I have another blue to test. We'll see how I feel. We need glazing liquid. Injured my tooth in January of 2017, got the crown in 2018. I waited on that for a few reasons. Because I hurt my tooth, and it was a long time before they figured out what was wrong. I was just like, it hurts. And they were like, I don't know, let's wait. And they kept doing the tapping thing that they do when they're trying to figure out if your tooth is dying. And I'd be like, no, but it hurts. And they'd be like, I don't know. And then eventually I had the root canal done. And they gave me, yeah, the temp crown. And then I had trouble with that. And they were like, well, let's just let it settle down. And then eventually it did. And then they gave me the crown. And then that was a whole thing. Because whoever did the crown was not great at it. All right, we are testing other yellows and blues. We're gonna test Yinmen blue. Just as a little test. See how I feel about it in this painting. I don't think it's the right blue for this job though. And phthalo. So I'm using the 2 that I did last week and then 2 new ones, and we're going to compare. But I'm putting all 4 on the palette because I also want to try the different yellow with the first blue and then the first yellow with the second blue. We're going to see how that works. And you, my dear, stay there and do not fall over, thank you. And I just realized there was something I wanted to do to that before I put the glaze on it. But now there's paint here. The numbing stuff worse. I was so numb my tongue kept activating my gag reflex. They always over-numb me, and I am miserable. Like, I can feel it up into my forehead when they do it. I am just absolutely miserable every time. We have a 29-month resub from Darkness Bride. Good morning. Alright, here's our other blue. This is Yinmen. And that is way too ultramarine family blue for this. We are not getting a pretty green. It's kind of gray blue, to be fair, when it mixes with the yellow. Yeah, that's not where we need to be at all. Okay. But it's Yinmen blue, look at that. It's so pretty. It's just not what we want right here. All right, but we are going to try the yellow oxide with phthalo and see if I like that better than the ochre. Almost blurble. It's not really doing what I want, the Yinmen. It's pretty comparable. Transparent iron oxide. It's more yellow. Ochre is oranger. I'm also waiting for my allergy pills to kick in. I'm feeling very stuffed up. I think I'm just going to stick with what I had last week. I think that's the right call. Ochre and phthalo. Okay, so now I'm going to start by doing the thing I wanted to do on the canvas with adding just a little bit more white paint with this. The seat on the wall over here, it needs a little bit of lightening up. Just a little bit. That's better. We have a 29-month resub from Noah with 3 bird emotes. Yes, those are bald eagles. The Eagles won last night. I know Noah is very happy. Okay, now I can mix up my colors. We have 100 bits from Fire Goddess. Good morning. I was angry for most of the game, I know. I didn't hear the ending of the game from Noah, via Noah, so I just assumed they lost. I was like, ah, he's too upset to tell me. Alright, I'm thinking I'm going to do blue first. So I'm going to take a lot of glazing liquid and a little bit of this phthalo and make basically a very transparent blue. And this is the color I'm worried about getting too saturated. The yellow is great. It's pretty toned down already. But if I do the blue first and it's too saturated, I can just put a tiny bit of yellow over it to bring that intensity down just a little bit and make it slightly more green. So we're gonna start with the blue. I just have to decide what brush I want to use. This one? Maybe this one. This one's kind of makeup brushy. Yeah, let's try that. This one is in pristine condition because the few times I've used it, I have not loved the outcome of it. So I just put a little bit on here. And I'm going to just do a light blue wash over the blue part. This light here under the door is very orange in my photo. We're not going to go that orange. That's going to look ridiculous against everything else. Can you stay and not fall? Okay, so blue sits very heavily down here. Oh, this is kind of fun. I'm already out of blue because this brush takes a lot of it. Shoot. Ah, this is glazing liquid. And I think I made this more opaque than I was doing. More blue. We shall test it. A little bit. Can you see the blue on that? Oh, you are shedding though. Ooh, don't do that. We don't need bristles stuck in there. A shorter brush? Maybe, but I don't have anything this mop-like. otherwise. This is blue. This is blue. Should have pulled my hair into more of a bun. We're gonna do that. That's better. Look how much that's shedding. Can you see that? That didn't work either. Okay, let's do it. It just popped out. Hair struggles? What are those? Do a bun. Okay, so now we're just gonna take a little bit of this ochre and make it slightly green. And bring in a little bit of that. Spooky music. This painting is very different. I don't know. It's kind of an experiment, but I like how it looks. problem with doing glazing is it takes a while to dry. So you can only do so much at once. Here's the problem, if I wash this mop brush, it's going to be soaking wet. You can only do so much at once. Story of my life. Yeah. See, with a clean brush, you can't see that. It's cut off the side of the thing. It's more yellow. I don't have any of the blue contaminating it. I'm seeing I may have to darken some of this in the shadow areas of this, and that's fine. And I'm gonna have to bring in more titanium white on top for the brighter areas. Alright, I'm done with that brush for now, but I do need a smaller brush. side of the canvas. Oops. Did I get this one? I sure didn't. Let's fix that. And I didn't get the bottom because I just can't do that right now anyway. You can start to see the color come in. We have a 30-month resub from Fossix. Good morning. I think it needs more green. It is way too wet to do that. So we're gonna try it. I'm gonna mix up some greens and like find one that I like that's not too muddy, somewhere in this realm. I think it just needs less transparent green. And that's what those layers are all about. Oh, that really got bristles all over me. It's like I just have a cat again. There's like 20 bristles all over my hand from that mop brush. The palette is pretty full of them too. Cat brush. I guess I just need to buy like an actual makeup brush. Those don't shed as much. Because I'm happy with the blue and how blue the blue is. But I think the green needs more. So we're gonna have to make one. And kind of just force it. It's a sign you need a cat and missed all the chaos. Nope. That is not what we need right now. I will just go see all the other cats in my life, of which there is truly only one, but I do know someone who has two. And they are super cute. Now I'm picking bristles out of everything on this palette. All right, how do I feel about this green? Something is super grainy, one of these pigments. I can tell when I scrape the palette sometimes, I'm like, ooh, there's a lot of grit in this color. Don't know if I like this. Where's my glazing liquid? Elspeth is raging this morning. Is she mad? What is she mad about? Mad about nothing. Well, clearly it's something. Have you not observed her sitting on things today? She has a strict schedule requirement. Heard elephant noises? Okay, I don't know how I feel about this green. I'm not loving it, to be honest. It's very olive green. What if I do this? That feels better. That's what it needs. Less yellow. All right, let's, what brush do I want? And more glazing liquid because I think it's too opaque. Okay, there's my new green. And start up here. Time to sport. Go sports. I have to say, I am excited for us to like finish moving so I can maybe do a larger painting again because I've like wanted to do that. Are we getting into a mod fight in chat? Radio Dread, I didn't cause a fight, I promise. Oh no, I saw the lob at you. But all the other mods, I heard a fight. Okay, I kind of really love how this is turning out. There's a vision here. It's not done yet, but it's happening. Now I'm gonna have to bring the blue back in. Renee. There's almost a little bit of purple over here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring more blue in. Okay, that looks good. Now we need to do more blue. We have an 18-month resub from Soph G who says, "Hey all, 18. Good morning. Welcome in." How do I feel about this? Nope, too green. We're gonna change how we do that. There's a difference between too blue and too green. Because like that, too blue. Too much of blue. More glazing liquid necessary. Sudden desire to try and paint this like watercolors. Not on this, but like in general. That's more blue. That's better. We need this. Yeah, you can see that blue much better. Not everywhere needs this much blue in the painting though. Just a few spots. There. Maybe a bit there. Back here is very blue. I may have to do another layer over there. And here. But like this area doesn't have blue. Okay. This just needs a hint of blue. It looks overwhelming. I think some of this needs to be a little bit more golden here. Okay. There was a bristle right there that was making a weird ridge in the paint. Okay. Now I'm going to flip it and paint the bottom of it here. Because like this part needs to be quite gold as well. And then it can kind of fade out and go into the green. This part I have to make up. This part is not on my photo. Okay, now the problem is I have to hold this and wash this brush. And then switch back and get the blue. That works. I don't think I need to do any more than that. All right, so this is the vision. And I'm gonna hold it up to the camera and it's gonna be blurry, but it's blurry anyway. So see all the color on it? If I bring it back, it gets a little bit more in focus. So the plan is to darken some of the dark spots just to really bring them back, because they got a little washed out with the wash that I did with the, there's another bristle in here. I need to get that out before it dries in there completely. So the plan is to bring those spots back, and then, oh, it left a line, don't do that. Bring in some of the highlights again on top. There's a second one. Now I'm seeing a bunch of them in the light. Do I have any more? No, it's just those two. Okay. Anyway, then bring the highlights back, because some of these spots are super bright. So I'm going to bring some of that back and pushing some of the others back. So I brought the color in, and now we brought the saturation, and now we're going to bring in the contrast. So we kind of have to do a little bit of a balancing act when we do it this way. So unfortunately, this needs to sit like this for a few hours until it's dry, and I can do that. And that's fine, because I should probably like go pack some things. Suddenly stopped at ooh and ah over the painting. Well, thank you. The color is fun. Like, I think it's gonna look super cool when it's done. Is it gonna look like this? I don't think so identically. It's gonna be that vibe, but I don't think it's going to be... I think the photo is even hard to tell what it is, and that's fine and acceptable. I think it is a fun experiment that's going to turn out pretty, and that's the important thing. Okay, where can I put you for a week? I suppose a week. Where is a safe spot to set you down flat? Oh yeah, there's a shelf right here. Okay. Brush wash. Did someone say experiment? Always. All right, so today is Friday. We're gonna start by doing this. Let me help you. Tonight we are playing Mario Odyssey on Steven's channel. And we are, where are we? The Beach Kingdom? I think that's where we just got to, so we have a bunch of that left. There's not a ton of kingdoms left. I mean, there's like a decent number, but there's not like a bunch. So tune in for that. We need a volleyball. I don't need to do anything, Slick Duke. I mean, I'm gonna get that moon, but I'm not gonna be the one to do the volleyball. Make Steven do it. The royal you. Yes, exactly. That's tomorrow. Monday, I'm gonna be playing more Ghost Detective. Woo. I'm excited for that. It's been very fun. I'm hoping we get to see more of Pomeranian Dog, because Pomeranian Dog is great. Next week is pretty normal from what I know. So tune into streams. Missile is best boy. And stuff is gonna be happening. Convince him that you did the jump rope. He should do volleyball. When I played Odyssey, I was trying to do volleyball and I made him to try it at one point, and he was like, this is a lot. So we'll see if he remembers that. But I suppose I can go pack some things. We bought some yellow totes for some things. Any Boba Lover says, color is pretty. Thank you. We just put it on the canvas. Canvas, oh gosh, is slightly wet. It's on a shelf under my desk. This is canvas. This is color. We're gonna bring highlights back in next week. Oh, I can talk about the thing I want to paint. Let me grab it. It's in my office. When I finish this painting, this is what I'm going to work on. Oh no, I dropped the thing. Oh, it was a sticker. This is a mud guard for my bike, and it sits above the rear tire so you don't get mud all the way up your back. And one of my bike friends wants theirs painted purple because everything on their bike is purple. And I didn't know, they don't have a purple one, if it would last if I put it on this. So I told him, I was like, I'm just gonna paint one as a test for myself, and if it works, then I will paint you one purple. I'm gonna do a design, it's not just gonna be like solid purple. So, We will try that. I kind of want to do this Art Deco thing on mine. What design though? I found something that, like, 'cause it's kind of this shape, that was like very central with like swans, or maybe they were flowers. I can't remember. But I thought about doing that and changing it to a very specific type of flower. So I thought about doing that on mine, but then I thought about doing like a lace design, and I thought that might be fun. So it's kind of like a Zentangle, but it's lace. So I thought about doing like a base layer and then painting that on top. Lunar Pearl says, yay, no more mud on the back. The person, oh no, I got paint all over this brush. The person I bought my bike from has one of these. And I was like, hey, how do you feel about that? Does it work pretty good? And he's like, yeah, actually. And he's like, it would have helped you out on that last ride that was muddy. And I'm like, yeah. Kind of what I wanted one. Swans and flowers are very interchangeable. Yeah. So I had a few ideas for it. What I really need to do is I need to like sketch them out. I need to trace it and then sketch it out. And the problem is my bike is gray. I don't really want to do gray on mine. So I thought about starting to bring in some blues into my bike. There's a few things I can do, but I thought it might be fun to try. I could like tape it here and then paint it, because I want to do that. But it just kind of hangs over the back tire, so it's kind of neat. It's a neat design. Blue would be very pretty with the gray. It's a very duct tape gray. I don't have a... It's kind of the gray of this cap, maybe a little bit darker. This is how Mal's bike decaling starts, with decals. I did look up how to paint a bike, and the best way to do it is just to have an auto shop do it. Take the bike apart, give them the frame to paint, put it back together, put the Canyon decal back on it. It has been a thought. Side hustle, painting and selling bike decals. Someone I know makes bespoke bikes, like welds the frame and goes to like bike conventions to show off his frames. And they're super cool. He just did one that had a ton of hearts all over it, and I forgot how many, but he hid hearts all over. So like, if you think of the traditional rim brakes on a bike that pinch the rim of the bike, those are operated by wires. So when you hit the brake, it pulls the wires so it pinches it shut. And the piece that sits right above those wires that kind of brings them together into one, like that was a heart on that bike. And so he did even some like negative cutout hearts on the frame. It was really cool. He is amazing. So I talked to him about painting bikes. I was like, talk to me about your process. I want to know. And so he talked about that. The concept of bike conventions is wild. Yeah, there's conventions for everything. Like things you don't think of. I'm sure there are. There's yarn conventions, yeah. Board game conventions, yeah, there's all sorts of things. I saw some really neat cosplays for Dragon Con online. It's like, oh, that's fun. Do they provide transportation or do you have to bike yourself there? No, you have to get yourself there. I'm sure some people would bike to it. There's one in Philly, Noah. And that person I know who does bikes went to that con. It's a really big deal. The Philly one, that is. All right, as I was saying, everything this next week, should be normal as far as I know. I can't imagine anything will be changing for this next week. Hope you guys tune in tonight to Mario Odyssey. We are both very much looking forward to it because we've both very much enjoyed playing through that. Hope you tune in Monday for Ghost Trick. The goldenrod painting sold, so that is no longer up. I need to mail that out and package that today. And the leaf ripple painting, I need to take eBay photos, so that one is not ready to go up yet, but it's getting there. There's been a lot because we have to move. Everyone says thanks for the stream. Well, thank you guys for being here. I hope you have a good rest of your Monday, not Monday. Oh my God, it's Friday. I should know that. I'm in this room. All right, I will see you all tonight for Odyssey, and have a good rest of your Friday.